Take him to Detroit.
Hey, buddy, guess what? We're going to Detroit. Yeah!
Good morning, Animerica. I salute you, Captain America. I've already fucked up the intro. I salute you, Animerica. I pledge my allegiance only to you, Animerica. It is me, Mr. Unnecessary himself, here for what is basically an impromptu, just chatting stream variety show. If you don't know what's been going on with the YouTube channel over the past year, going on year and a half, I would prefer you go over to our previous stream, the My Hero Academia Vigilantes Abridged post-op stream. That's where I talk about what is going on there, why parodies are coming out a lot slower now, and what bears the necessity of making a show like this right now, because my god, I just miss you guys. Joy Boys, I miss you so much. I miss our little talks, our little streams. I desire to be what I would call a low-maintenance YouTuber these days, where I don't have to worry about big productions. I can just put content out just by pressing one button. So this show is just very improvised, very low maintenance. I just want to talk to you guys about media, and you guys can talk to me in the chat. Unfortunately, I'm not sure if chat is working, if it's connected. You know, there's gonna be a lot of hiccups during this first stream. Again, it's very improvised. But I'm just gonna be talking kind of like a solo JoyCast, basically. Or a solo Saturday Jump. Someone in our Discord said they really missed that. They really needed that right now, and I couldn't agree more, considering all the things that have just popped off in March. Seems like all the media I like and all the media we all like just crashed open in March. Oh, I see a chat here. Yo! What's up? My name is Mud. How's it going? Yeah, chat participation is highly encouraged during this show. Otherwise, I'm just gonna start rambling. And with that, let's get you a little caught up on what has happened between streams and now. Yo, what's up, Drill? What's going on, brother? But yeah, what has happened? Rip Chainsaw Man from Naomi. What's up, Naomi? Let me put up my little window here. Oh, the window's gotta be up for it to capture. So, boom! No boom. Just not gonna work at the last second. There we go. My name says pretty good. Just got home from work. This was happened. Decided to come join instead of sleep. Well, don't stay up too late on my account, but I don't think this will be a very long show. Again, it's very impromptu. It happens when it happens. But yeah, so what's happened over this past winter up till now? I've been just hibernating. I've been just kind of surviving the moment. But then March happened. The very beginning of March, my wife and I did a little trip to Boise. We always go to Boise at least once a year. We try to, and we had a choice. It was that's where Stina's family is still at. Stina's from Boise. She moved over to my side neck of the woods from Boise, and we had a choice. It was either come see her her little sibling, my little sibling-in-law's graduation, or come see their school play of Mean Girls. So we said, you know what? Graduations are kind of boring. A school play would be really entertaining to see. And it was definitely a great choice. We went to see their school play of Mean Girls. Ironically, happened during the Ides of March. If you're familiar with that movie or that play, it was a great time to do that play. It was really good. Stina's little sibling played Janice, the goth chick, and their boyfriend played the gay guy, and they were like leaps and bounds the best part of that play. Like, they did so good. The lead, who played Lindsay Lohan's character, also did really good. Otherwise, high school plays be high school plays, you know. But still, they still did really good. It was really fun, and the trip to Boise was very chill and fun as per usual. We did a good 5 days there, and just got some time to kind of get away from things, relax, take a breather, and rest up. While we were there, we saw some movies, because I highly recommend, if you ever go to Boise, there's a theater there called The Flicks. It's a nice little indie theater. It's like 4 small screens with a video rental shop in between. And while we were there, we saw Jinpa. What was Jinpa? Frickin' John Lithgow, soon to be Dumbledore in the HBO Harry Potter, just plays this fictional gay rights activist in retirement, who lives in frickin' Amsterdam, and his family comes to see him. And it was just a cute little movie. Stina loved it. Stina cried. I was kind of in the middle about it. What I appreciated about it, was, you know, it's tough to be, you know, it's tough to be gay right now, man, you know. The world's being real tough to the gays right now. And so what Jinpa is really special in my book is how it actually looks at the gay community right now in a critical eye. You don't get to see the dirty details of the gay community, how critical they are of each other, specifically the character Jinpa. He's very classic, you know, there's gay and straight. There's no in between. There's no all of this new shit. And he calls them my little thing. He's got a non-binary grandchild who comes and visits him, and we get to kind of see them have their experiences in Amsterdam, where things are a little bit more opening, and the conflicts there. I thought that was very interesting. I'm a bit middle of the road on the film. Stina loved it, and if you guys ever get a chance to watch this, for most normal folks, this, again, probably will feel very mid. If you're in the queer community, you'll probably really love this film. We also saw Hoppers. Very recently, we saw Hoppers. I thought this was a really cute film. This is the latest Pixar joint. It's from the director. The director who did this was basically outsourced from Cartoon Network. He did We Bare Bears, if you're familiar with that cartoon. And this was just, it was really cute, really fun. I don't buy the hype in that people are like, oh my god, this is the most hilarious, unhinged Pixar, Disney they've ever done. I'm like, really? I feel like the internet has really kind of rotted me a bit, where I'm like, you think this is unhinged? I don't know. But what I did appreciate, this thing plays on my brand of radical moderate that I know has pissed a lot of people off on the internet, where it's like, you gotta be fucking understanding and understand people's motives and meet people in the middle and fix shit, because at the end of the day, you only got each other. You're living on the same planet, you gotta meet in the middle. The real enemy is minimal. It's a very close to singular entity, and well, you guys didn't him fast enough, you didn't that evil entity, so congratulations, we're about to enter the wonderful age of radical moderate. If you're pissed about radical moderate, you didn't fast enough. You didn't march on Washington fast enough. You didn't do the French thing fast enough. So this is what we get now. Sorry, should have done it fast enough. You can't be all talk. You gotta do the job fast enough. So now we're in the age of radical moderate. We're in my age. We're entering very soon, where we're gonna talk Jujutsu our way out of things. Because that's all we got left. But yeah, it was really fun. Drill, yeah, I kind of want to see, because, yeah, if you like We Bare Bears, you'll love this. I really loved it. I really enjoyed it. While we were in Boise, so like I said, we're my wife and I are total cinephiles. We were walking around town, and, they opened up a new theater downtown, a fancy new one. And, what else I gotta say is, I don't have a poster up for it, but we also saw my most anticipated film of the year. We saw Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie. Hold on one second. Let me get a poster for that real quick. Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie. There we go. We saw Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie. If you're not familiar with Nirvana, the band, the show, they were a YouTube channel. You might actually know, if you're not familiar with them, you might know them from the We Shop Wednesday meme, when they start just singing the We Shop theme and the da-da-da-da-da-da, Donkey Kong and Mario 2, da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. Like, it's those guys. They were a YouTube channel, then they got a show on a Canadian TV channel that then became a web app. And so then, like, I think the YouTube channel was like the old YouTube days. Then the TV show was like 2014, 2015-ish. Then about like 15, 17 years later, we get the movie. And the movie is basically Back to the Future 4. They basically remade Back to the Future. And because these guys are so big-brained, when they were kids, back in 2006, 2008, they recorded some bits knowing that someday in the future, they were going to do a time travel type arc with each other. They then made a movie where they go back in time and start interacting with each other. It's so fucking cool. It's so fucking funny. It is the funniest movie of the year so far. The year is still very early, but this is the funniest movie so far. It's my type of humor. They obsess over the same things that I do. But what I like about what this so we're in that, again, the world is so tough right now. We're at the point right now where people are getting very nostalgic for 2008. And this film goes, yeah, 2008 was cool, but also it was really fucked up. And some of the best punchlines of this film come from, like, how fucked up 2008 was. That being said, if I could be a little, I think this is a 5-star film. I think is incredible. It's just a testament to creativity of the YouTube age that has been lost. The innocence that we have lost, those of us who grew up in that age. But also the fact that sometimes we gotta bring that magic back ourselves. But if I could be just a little bit critical of this film, it's 5 stars on my book. Don't be scared. I think this movie's first act is dangerously powerful. It is so powerful, it practically undoes it's so good, the rest of the film is not as good by comparison. The rest of the film is very funny, very enjoyable, but the first act is so fucking funny. The rest of the film is not as good. And when I talk about the first act, it's the first stunt. If I could describe this film overall, it's Jackass meets Boyhood. And the first act of this film is very Jackass, where we're just gonna shoot things out in the wild, get real reaction, stage a few things, but make it look very seamless. And what they stage is incredible. And I don't want to spoil it. If you can go in as blind as possible, it's great if you know who Nirvana, the band, the show is, but Stina did not really know who these guys were, so she was laughing her fucking ass off when it happened. It's so good. It's like Naomi saying the movie theater scene in 2008 is also one of the best scenes of the year. It's so good. This is a show that really runs on reaction shots. If you like The Office reaction shots, you'll like Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie. It's a movie built on reaction faces. Guerrilla stuff. It's so punk. It's so punk. It's my type of punk. Hoppers is my type of radical moderate, and Nirvana the band, the show, is my type of punk filmmaking. I love it so much. Right now, it is my favorite movie of the year. It was my most anticipated film of the year. I am so happy I got to see it. I'm so happy. My second most anticipated film of the year, that's what we're getting. We're still in Boise. We walk by this brand new, spanking new theater. We go and peek our heads inside. They were doing a preview showing of Project Hail Mary. One sec, I'm getting it up here. Project Hail Mary. So this is directed by the same guys who directed Into the Spider-Verse, Lord and Miller. I read this book last year. I think it might be. I am very bad with reading. I'm not a good as a writer. It is so horrible that I do not read nearly enough. As a writer, I need to be reading more books. Last year, I read Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. It's one of, if not my favorite book of all time. I love that book so much. And just as I am finishing that fucking book, they post the trailer for the movie Project Hail Mary. And it's got Ryan Gosling, and it's got Lord and Miller directing. I'm like, holy fuck. And the score is going to be done by, it's done by Daniel Pemberton. My favorite book done by my favorite fucking people. And they were doing a preview showing. But the movie was apparently over 2.5 hours long. And Steve and I were fucking exhausted. We were pulling some late nights in Boise. And Boise is 2 hours earlier than where we live in Michigan. So late is super late in Boise. We were just fucking exhausted. We're like, oh my god, we want to see this movie. But we are just so exhausted. And it would be so good to do this preview screening. We just can't. I was very disappointed, but my body just could not handle it. I am hoping to see this movie this weekend. This is my second most anticipated film of the year. I cannot wait to see it. I just cannot. It's, again, Hoppers is my type of radical moderate. Andy Weir books are my type of science fiction. It's like Dr. Stone, the way I do Dr. Stone, although I'm a little bit more cynical with Dr. Stone, but the end message is always hopeful. Science and logic will win in the day. And I've heard a lot of criticisms of the film. I'm trying to avoid spoilers. I mean, I've read the book, so I know what happens, but I'm trying to avoid spoilers on how this film is adapted. But in the same way, again, how the internet's getting pissed about the radical moderate of Hoppers, people are getting pissed by what they're calling competence porn. People don't like competence porn. I love competence porn. The book is competence porn. And what I mean by competence porn is logic wins. When things go wrong, people will listen to the facts. When COVID happened, there was a time where we were listening until things got undone because a loud, dumb motherfucker got louder than everything else. But there was a very brief time, and behind the scenes, competence did win. We got those vaccines out. We got to the point where people thought, oh wow, this COVID isn't so bad. And people thought that way because competence and logic did win behind the scenes. We figured that shit out. When things go wrong, scientists will come to the fucking rescue, and science and philosophy and all that good shit will prevail, and we'll get that job done. The jokes will stop. We'll get to fucking work. COVID could have fucking killed us, guys. We were alive at the end of the day because logic didn't win out. But that bugs me. So competence porn. Project Hail Mary seems to be bugging people the way that One Battle After Another kind of bugged me. I enjoyed that movie. I love Benicio del Toro's character in One Battle After Another. Fucking beer and selfies in the car with the revolutionary homie. To me, that's what the revolution's all about. But all the ham radio shit and acting like we're secret agents, that stuff doesn't get... I call that revolutionary porn. Again, I talked about how people get mad at hoppers for being radically moderate, and I go, okay, do that. Like, you this is the shit you guys get excited about. One battle after another is the shit that you guys get excited about. I found it very disingenuous. That people get excited about that shit, but then they hardly ever do that shit in real life. They don't do the March on Washington. They don't do what the French do and shut down businesses for like more than 5 hours. You know, they do it until shit gets done. You can be critical of Project Hail Mary, and you can actually not be posers around one battle after another if you do the real shit. So yeah, a little culture war going on with my film opinions right now. Chat's asking, any more Spike's Family videos coming? Not right now. Refer to the post-op stream that happened before this. YouTube's very, very tough right now. In short, I don't want to waste time on this because I've said it so many times. We don't have the money. I have a script right now for Spike's Family Bridge. I've rewritten the next episode 4 times. I'm going to have to rewrite it a 5th time. And even if I do, I have writer's block right now because personal life is very sad right now. YouTube, we're not making enough money to even produce Spike's Family right now. So if you want more Spike's Family, refer to our Patreon if you haven't already, and throw us some scratch if you have the means. If you don't, that's fine. You can still watch our videos, go watch Your Next Abridged. As of right now, YouTube has pushed us into a My Hero Academia shaped corner. We can only do My Hero Academia right now. That's all I can say on that. Alex is asking, did I watch Steel Ball Run yet? I have watched the first 15 minutes. I'm going to withhold judgment until I've watched the rest. I want to watch it with Val. Val and I, we're gonna sit down and watch it together. But some IRL things happened with me behind the scenes, and I had to flake on him, unfortunately. I do want to get there so badly. What new shonen manga do you think is going to get the anime adaptation next? Ichi the Witch, Kagurabachi, Under Doctor, Kenoto's Magic, Shinobi Undercover, Order of the Flame. Well, not Order of the Flame, it got axed. I have not been keeping up with Shonen Jump. I'll be 100% with you guys. When I was on vacation, I started reading Shonen Jump again. I think Ichi the Witch is a shoo-in. Kagurabachi is absolutely getting an adaptation. It's getting animated by the same studio, Sai Games Internal, that did the Uma Musume movie, Beginning of a New Era. So Kagurabachi is going to be very interesting if it's not a jobber promotion. If their movie team works on it, it's going to be fucking incredible. Akane Banashi is coming out this spring. It looks very low-key animation, but sometimes a really good manga can carry low-key animation. It should be fine. I'm most excited for the adaptation of, and I'm also most scared for, Marriage Toxin. Bones is doing it, but it's produced by Bandai Namco. And if you saw One Punch Man Season 3, we don't trust Bandai producing shit, so I'm very scared about that. But I'll get to things in the future. It might not even be this episode. I'm going to discuss some manga I've been reading behind the scenes. I'm only going to discuss one today if you've seen the thumbnail and the title of this stream. But I do want to get back on topic here. I'm excited for Project Hail Mary. I hope to see it this weekend. But let's talk about, what else I've been doing. What else I've been watching. Although I've been doing a poor job of keeping up with manga, I did keep up with this season of anime. The JoyRide Discord's, anime watch nights. If you didn't know, we do a anime watch night weekly in the JoyRide Discord. I don't have the link on the stream. I forgot to put it there. But if you go on the main YouTube channel, you'll get the link there. Up until now, we have been keeping the anime watch nights private for Patreon supporters. It's only because at the peak of anime watch night, things started getting very crowded. Everyone wanted to test their stand-up routine in front of Mr. Entertainment. And it got very loud and obnoxious. But because YouTube has been really quieting us, pushing us down, and things have been gone very quiet, I'm going to talk with Mr. Host about making that in the public side of the Discord again. So if you want to watch anime with us, I've been finally getting some time to watch anime with everyone again and riffing on it. We've been doing that over the past winter, and I'm hoping to be back in the spring. My wife, Stina, who plays Chu-chan in the Chu-chan VT streams on Twitch, is also trying to get back into those little watch nights on Discord. So if you like me, if you like her, we'll be back and riffing there, hopefully for the spring season. As for the winter season, I respectively watched JJK season 3, Frieren season 2, Medalist season 2, My Hero Academia's Vigilantes season 2, and Hell's Paradise season 2. And I've been dipping in and out. I have not finished any of these anime. The last episode of each season I have not watched yet. And what can I say? I think that season 3 of JJK has probably been the best season of this anime. I've only read JJK up through the Shibuya arc, and then I stopped there because I got busy. This was a couple of years ago. I read up to that point and went, wow, this is so cool. And I know that the anime is at least solid. I want to see this adapted. So I watched season 1 of JJK. It's solid. Some people say it's bad. People are weird. It's very good. Season 2, incredible, but also incredibly irresponsible. If you guys listen to JoyCast, Val and I talked a lot about the turmoil that happened behind the scenes. A lot of the animators got treated like fodder. There was lots of mutiny behind the scenes. It's a miracle that even happened. Season 3 seems to be a lot more disciplined, and I think that's what I appreciate about it. That being said, they're doing some really cool things. I'm not, like I said, I'm so far removed from JoyCast now. I'm not doing investigative journalism anymore behind the scenes, so I couldn't tell you who's actually working on season 3 of JJK. But it feels like the people who worked on the Chainsaw Man anime are. The cinephile guys, the guys who want to make anime look like Japanese cinema. And I think it's a double-edged sword. I'm surprised. I mean, again, I'm not on Twitter anymore. I'm not really looking at reactions to this anymore. I can't imagine people are really enjoying this season as much. Because it's a little... This season's a bit snobby. I like it, but I see how it can annoy the shonen trash. The I want to see people walk in slow motion with fire and flames and aura and lots of pre-rendered effects crowd. For better and worse, the Demon Slayer crowd, I don't think would really like this season. Lots of very fascinating long takes. A lot of scenes, if you've noticed in JJK Season 3, are like long take film scenes where we just stay in these shots for a very long time. Characters just stand there, they'll walk away, they'll kind of brush their hair, scratch their necks, have a little physical body language, and scenes will just linger for a long time. 2 in particular. I don't know these characters by name. I'm not a huge JJK stan, but when Yuji is talking to the guy in the Fight Club in his lounge, when Megumi's talking to the receipt guy at the pool, scenes like that. Very fast. Speaking of the receipt guy, oh my god, Gege seems to know how to do quirks better than Horikoshi does. The whole receipt thing, again, I haven't read the manga. But the fact that they let us visually understand the receipt guy and let us kind of grow and learn how his power set worked And then when it was time to explain things, he goes, you already figure. He literally looks at the camera and goes, you've probably figured out by now how my receipt power works. But did you know it also is not actually receipt power, but it's an honor a contract power? And so if I burn this receipt, I feel the effects of a 5-night spa at a ryokan. And it's like, the fact that they let us grow and understood and went, haha, just kidding, you didn't know it did this, and that's what we're going to explain. Oh my god, I was fucking floored. I fell to the ground and almost fucking shot ropes everywhere. They just did magic system exposition, the most show and don't tell, but we will tell the things you haven't figured out yet as a surprise. You didn't figure this out yet. We're going to tell you that so that when you do get an exposition, it's the kind of exposition you fucking appreciate, and it's really fucking cool. That's my favorite episode of that season, the receipt guy fight. That being said, host kept fucking hyping up this comedian guy to me behind the scenes. I don't fucking like him. I don't hate him. I think that my problem with him is that host hyped him up too much. He is my type. I will say, I think I hate him because he is my kind of character. Gege and I are spiritual. Me and Gege are spiritual brothers. We both like to make a character that the audience loves and then beat the shit out of that character and make characters who spit in the face of that character's power set. The fact that this comedian guy, anything he thinks is funny can happen. So by that measure, he's more, the fact that the series goes out of its way to explain that he's more powerful than Gojo. He literally turns to the camera and the narrator goes, yeah, hey, fuck you, he's stronger than Gojo. Fuck your power scaling. This guy has a power that if he thinks it's funnier to be funnier than Gojo, he's stronger than Gojo. Fuck your power scaling. I love that. I love that guy. People were like, who is this? It's the guy with the split costume where he's naked on one side and he's got a Sentai costume on the right. He's just a comedian. And Japanese humor does not translate well to the West. I am so sorry. I guess I'm just too gaijin-pilled. It doesn't work on me. I appreciate the character, but he does not work on me. But I love the middle finger to power scaling. I love that much. But as host is saying in the chat right now, he is a terrible comedian. You're not supposed to like him. So that works. You know who did surprise me? And I think surprised anyone who isn't fucking, who isn't basically anyone like me who is only watching the anime at this point? The Lawyer. The fact that we had a legal drama, we dedicated an entire episode to the darkest, realest legal drama. The lawyer, the Mr. Lawyer character. He is so cool, but he's also my biggest criticism of this arc. So initially, I believe that this arc is the best arc of the series. And I think lots of people like myself overhype Shibuya. But the more that I think about it, I'm so sorry. I think the Culling Games, so far, I know this is only Part 1. I think the Culling Games is for better and worse than the ugliest aspects of Battle Shonen. I think that what Shibuya Incident has on the Culling Games is that the Shibuya Incident feels like a natural progression, a natural escalation of the story of Jujutsu Kaisen. It doesn't feel like a punctuation. It doesn't feel like a sidestep. The Culling Games, by its name, this is the tournament arc. You know the Giga joke, tournament arc. The Culling Games is a tournament arc. Gege is just throwing random characters who absolutely disrupt the power system, disrupted the power scaling of the series. Go, oh yeah, that Gojo guy. Here's all the most powerful fucking people. And are we really moving the story forward? It doesn't feel like it. It doesn't feel like the story's going anywhere right now. It feels like we're just mashing really cool action figures together, with really cool backstories. I'm enjoying it, but as of right now, as a by the moment watcher, viewer, Do I feel like the story is going anywhere right now? Fuck no. I don't know what the fuck is happening right now. And that's my fault. I'm not as invested in this world as the real true JJK fan is. But I'm just not feeling it. I'm enjoying my time. I like these characters. I'm glad Mr. Potential Megami got a chance to shine against a very interesting opponent. I love that lawyer guy. But my God, the fact that he does his thing and then he walks away, he gives out his points and then he just walks away. He clearly walks away because above the board, he's too fucking powerful. You can't have this guy be on your fucking team actively because it undoes the stakes. And then Megami walks away from the comedian guy because he's too strong. It undoes the stakes. Although I'm pretty sure I've seen images of the manga of the big final fight. I'm pretty sure the comedian guy does come back. But I feel like we're introducing all these very powerful action figures and we are mashing them and then we're killing some of them off and we're letting them some walk away because it's just too inconvenient to the fucking plot. Too strong. It's kind of like my criticism of the All for One fight at the end of My Hero, where everyone's getting in a long line and everyone's getting their chance to do their big, powerful final attack against All for One. It's just fan service. It's very fun. And I will say that better than My Hero, at least this fan service has really, really wonderful, meaty, delicious 5-course meal backstories for these characters. They're like these action figures are mashing it, but they come with nice little one-shot stories that are just masterful. I'm really enjoying it. I really am. You are so Philinator has made one great point. I do agree that the lawyer does present something to Itadori's arc, and that it's his guilt about the Shibuya incident, about how he believes that he killed all those people in Shibuya. And he basically got a confirmation from that guy's, I want to say quirks so bad because they're so much better than quirks. His sorcerer power, his Jujutsu Kaisen. I don't know. I'm so not deep into this. But his power is he literally sends his victims to a domain that is a courthouse. And they cannot lie. They get a chance to defend themselves, but if they are found guilty, they get a penalty. And one of those penalties could be the death penalty. And one of the times that Itadori Yuji gets in that domain, he gets put on trial for the Shibuya incidents. And they find out in that domain that he is not guilty of killing. That was Sukuna. It's Sukuna's fault that those people died. It's not Yuji. And he has to move on from that. I agree that there's definitely an emotional arc there. Thank you for catching that, Philinator. You are correct. I'm full of shit. There is character development for our main protagonist right there. That is true. That is very true. But otherwise, it's just we're mashing action figures together. But I've given JJK a lot of time in the spotlight. I also want to talk about Frieren Season 2. Frieren is back. It looks solid. I was afraid they were going to rush that out, but it looks like they were already working on it while Season 1 was coming out. So it looks solid. I love Frieren, but I would never force Frieren on other people. I like Frieren because I'm one of those guys who believes plot is for cowards. I was just criticizing JJK for it, but plot is for cowards. Slice of life is for real men. And JJK Frieren at the end of the day is a series about you've already finished the main campaign, and this is you opening up your own save file and going back to an old game you love and beating all the side quests. You're trying to 100% all the little tiny side quests you skipped after your first main playthrough. That's how I would describe Frieren. And as I said before, the modern anime fan, if there's any centralism left, it's the Demon Slayer fan. We need pre-rendered effects. We need the camera spinning and fucking fights happening 24/7. We need to evade taxes. We need to underpay our animators to make just raw, concentrated hype. We need crack. We need crack. We need meth. Weed isn't good anymore. Frieren is weed, and everything else is crack and the fast-acting fucking acid drugs that everyone's hyped up on right now. Frieren is very slow. It's very relaxed. I very much enjoy it. That being said, does it deserve to be number 1 on anime list right now? I'm pretty sure it is right now. I also don't like how they treat seasons as completely new shows now. So Frieren just can't be number 1, but Frieren 1, Season 1, and Season 2 are now taking up multiple spots on the anime list. And I think that's bullshit. Personally, I feel like Full Alchemist Brotherhood is still number 1 in my book. That being said, I don't agree with FMA fans review bombing everything. That's so fucking stupid and such a self-tell that you have way too much fucking time on your hands. You guys gotta remember that life moves on. You can't have the best anime forever. Like, anime should be getting better and improving. But personally, yeah, I don't believe Frieren is better than that, but it's definitely one of the all-time greats in my opinion. And Season 2 is no different. I like how intentionally slow it was the first half, and then the second half they go, oh yeah, we saw all you Demon Slayer fans bitching and crying that nothing was happening. So now here's all these fucking crazy-ass fights at the end of the season. It's very fun. I've been very much enjoying it. Alex, has anyone else been watching Fire Force? I have not watched Fire Force at all, and I should. But I just never. That's one of the things that just got lost in the mix when there's just too much to watch, and I got lost on Fire Force. But I know it's good. And I know that final season is winning so hard. Also, someone brought up if I'd watched Steel Ball Run. I know that Fire Force is also done by David Production, and I will say, spoiler alert, when I do talk about Steel Ball Run, David Production has proven with that and Undead Unluck that they've got sauce. David Production has sauce, and I'm sorry, but JoJo's is stuck in 2010, 2014, 2012, whenever they started. It's sauceless. David Production has proven that they can do good shit, and JoJo's continues to be sauceless by comparison. It's David Production's moneymaker. It's their jobber at the end of the day. It's so sad. They had an opportunity to try something new and they didn't. They didn't even try. I'm very disappointed. I'm being cut off by the drama ad. Oh, bro, the drama is one of my anticipated films of the year, too. My wife and I loved Robert Pattinson, so I'll let that play off for a sec. I'll play some elevator music. The ads can't be that long on my streams. YouTube doesn't like me that much, right? Philinator, fuck, I miss Undead Unluck. I wish I had time to finish and read that and give it the time. I kind of glanced over that one. I know it's good. I know it's one of the better modern shonens, and again, that got lost on me. What else do I want to talk about this anime season? Oh, I want to talk about Hell's Paradise. That's one that I'm not very deep into. I've been kind of dipping in and out. I've not watched that full. I've been watching like every other episode, but there's an episode in particular. It's in the middle of the season where I don't even know these characters that well, but they jump into what seems to be, I'm not sure how long Hell's Paradise goes, but it seems to be the final boss, or at least the final boss of this arc's headquarters. And oh my god, Hell's Paradise, without having much investment, not having much investment in these characters, oh my god, that is a show that really makes you feel some stakes. That makes you really feel like no characters are safe. Like, I don't want to spoil it. You guys should watch Hell's Paradise. It's very good. People call it the Dark Trio. They put it with they call it a cousin of Chainsaw Man and something else of that era of part 1. We'll get to part 2 later in this discussion. Of the Dark Trio. These darker stories, these darker much more subversive shonens that just magically popped out of nowhere. Hell's Paradise is very good. It's something I wish I gave more time and more of my attention, and I'm very satisfied whenever I do. And there's a bit in an episode that I did watch where these guys and their main characters and again, another thing that I really appreciate with this series, they make their supporting cast very. Imagine My Hero Academia if Deku and Yaoyorozu fought side by side together. The equivalent of Yaoyorozu got to have a fight together because the supporting cast were actually fucking characters who actually had things to contribute to the plot and the fights. They weren't just shoehorned in. They aren't just there for the fandom. They're there for the plot. Very awesome supporting cast in Hell's Paradise, and you're scared for all of them. And the main character, they storm the headquarters. They have a plan. They're trying to get through this headquarters so they can leave this island and escape. They go in there, and everything immediately goes wrong. They get caught. The main character of this series turns to the supporting cast and goes, yeah, some of us are not coming out of here alive. We have to make a plan B, and plan B means some of us are going to have to sacrifice ourselves. We're fucked. All of us or some of us are fucking dead. I'm like, holy shit. And you feel it. It's not bullshit. You feel it. Your stomach stinks. Even if you're not, if you're like me and you're just dipping in and out of this, my fucking balls hurt from the empathic pain of that moment of, oh my god, they're fucked. Imagine season 1 Deku. I'm trying to posit this to My Hero fans because we have a lot of My Hero fans around our channel. Imagine if season 1 Deku and his friends, and they were far more developed at this point, and they stormed All for One's base with Shigaraki there. And they're like, oh fuck, we're trapped here. Some of us are not coming out alive. It's that level. It's very fucking cool. Very fucking cool. I'm trying to make the time to sit down and watch that properly. It's such a cool fucking series. That being said, its power system is not much different from any other fucking shonen of its era. I'll just go out and say it's the superior Demon Slayer. Like I'm really trying to be better. I'm trying to be a better man, a better content creator, a better influencer who speaks about the content he loves without putting others down. But I just can't fucking help it, guys. Demon Slayer is good. Demon Slayer is good. Okay, you don't get that type of influence. You don't get like half of all cosplay, the better half of all cosplays at a convention are all Demon Slayer. It's so popular. It's so influential. But Hell's Paradise is the better version of Demon Slayer. They've got the techniques. Philinator saying in the chat that the power system is based on Chinese philosophy. That is true. I would go out of the way and say it's based on Pokemon. They literally have elemental type advantages. It's very simple. That's the part. So the power system of Hell's Paradise is the part where my eyes kind of glaze over a little bit and go, okay, whatever. I don't need that. A certain type of audience needs it. I don't fucking need it. But it is interesting. But I do think Hell's Paradise is the superior Demon Slayer. And what I mean by that is the enemies, the demons, do get their empathetic backstory before we fucking kill them. Demon Slayer is the very mainstream friendly, the very popcorn, the very delicious movie theater popcorn version of the bad guys have sympathetic backstories before we kill them. Hell's Paradise is the more A24 art house version of that. That's how I would describe it. Oh, and Phil, yeah, sex equals power, unironically. I haven't watched enough episodes to fully understand that, but yes, horniness makes you stronger in a non-fan servicey way. It's actually really cool. The author is a woman, And that's a thing that I've made a lot of compliments on during anime nights. Frieren has a female writer. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood has a female writer. Hell's Paradise has a female writer. Hell, I mean, fucking Demon Slayer has a female writer. Something about women writing battle shonen these days just hits differently, man. The priorities they have, and I say this as a super cis man, I am so envious of the female mindset, the way that I adore the way their priorities mesh with battle shonen. It's battle shonen. The reason why anime is really popping off in the West right now, there is an emotional honesty. There's a brazenness to Japanese media and anime by proxy. Because I feel like Western media, and I am guilty, I am a Western media man. I make Western media. Western media right now is very cynical, it's very sarcastic. And I feel like Japanese media is very emotionally honest. And the way that women write emotional honesty is very different from the way that men do. I'm not trying to be sexist. I'm just saying there's a huge fucking difference. And I like the priorities. And Hell's Paradise is a reason of that. I like that the main character's priorities is, I gotta get back to my wife, man. He's married, he gets separated from his wife, who he pretends to hate. When we're introduced to this guy, he's this criminal, he's on trial, and he's like, yeah, I lived a shitty life, I've got no regrets, fucking kill me if you can, man. But as we get to learn about this guy, and we have flashback to his life, he keeps bringing up this wife he had in an arranged marriage, and then he's an unreliable narrator, and he keeps meeting other people, and they keep dissecting his life and how that wife meant to him, and you realize how much he loves his wife, and how much that his priority in Chainsaw Man, Genji's, and I mean this as a compliment. He's very simple. He wants to have, because it's a narrative device. Denji wants to touch a boob, then he wants to kiss a woman, and then he wants to have sex. And throughout the entirety of Chainsaw Man, he meets these goals, but it's a monkey's paw, and that's very fun. In Hell's Paradise, this man just wants to be reunited with his wife. Because he's like, man, my life is shitty. I mean, even he begins to realize he's been lying to himself. And he begins to realize that, yeah, he's a wife guy. And I feel like although Japanese media is very emotionally honest, I have yet to see, and I'm sure it's out there, and I just haven't been exposed to it yet, I have yet to see a story written by a wife guy. But I definitely got a story written by a wife chick, of a husband chick. She's like, yeah, I know what a husband who really loves his wife and makes her a priority. I know how that man exists, and even if I don't, I've written the ideal wife guy in a medium. You don't see that in male-written shonen. It's a different type of character. We can only get I want to be the next Takage, I want to be the number one hero, and I want to be the number one demon slayer. We'll get to that, because that's how Chainsaw Man ends. I want to be the next JJK sorcerer. It's nice when the goals are very different and very emotionally honest and very humble and simple. I really appreciate, it wows me. Women have a different set of goals. Again, with Frieren, it's about a fumble. It's about a woman mourning about her deceased fucking baddie that she fumbled. I once dated this guy who was fucking awesome. I thought he was cringe, so I didn't hit that, and then he died, and I realized how important he was to me. That's Frieren's story. Only a woman could write that. Because men have some relationship hang-ups right now. It's a bad time to be a man. I say this with sympathetic. I say this sympathetically, that men cannot write relationships appropriately right now. Because we are in a very young men are in a very rocky place. We are in a very the social infrastructure is fucking nasty. It's very isolating. The dating scene, I don't know how you kids navigate that right now. It's fucking confusing and scary, and I think it's by design. And the media that I'm reading right now seems to be by at least older, if not emotionally mature women who have got this shit figured out, and they're writing about it. And it's making for a much more for me right now, those are the most entertaining fucking stories right now. Women are kicking ass right now in anime and manga, is what I'm saying. And dudes need to step up. And there are some men stepping up behind the scenes. We'll get to that. I think gay JJK is among them. I think they're doing some great shit. So what else do I want to talk about this season? Medalist season 2. I'm gonna make this brief because we did not watch this on the JoyRide nights. I know a lot of people don't watch Medalist. I've already I go to the Mr. Entertainment Awards 2025. That's the second to last stream. Maybe it was the last stream we did. I screamed all my praises about Medalist. In short, Medalist is the coolest sports shonen since Hajime no Ippo. The most intense. Haikyuu is also good. This is also very good. It's about children's figure skating. No, it is not like Yuri on Ice. Yuri on Ice was just a passing fad. Medalist is the most intense sports shonen, maybe even seinen. I'm not sure what magazine. I think it's a seinen actually. I could be wrong. Again, I'm not doing my investigation as much anymore. I am happy to be wrong. I am proud to be wrong and proven wrong. But it's very intense. It's very emotionally intelligent about children. About and very respectful of children about the pressures that they go through in competitive sports and how they must leverage their desire to be and that's a huge pressure in Japan about their need to be successful, but also their need to enjoy what they do, to leverage their their desire to grow and to have fun, but also what it means to win and have to balance how much winning do I need to do to grow and to have fun, but not let the lack of winning crush me. It's such a good series. Season 2, Season 2 came out fast. Season 1 was last year. Season 2 came out immediately. And they haven't skipped a beat. The animation looks great. Maybe even better than Season 1. And again, it's got the fucking Hajime no Ippo jet engines for the sound of punches type of intensity to it. It's so surprising how good it is, considering that for half the time they're using, because CG models in anime have really improved, and this anime has some of the best CG modeling when it comes to the ice skating routines, and some of the ice skating routines in the season use full traditional 2D animation as well. I am very impressed with it, but I've been really enjoying that season. I can't believe it's already over. They've only been like singular cores. Vigilantes Season 2. This is another one where I've only been dipping in and out of, kind of like Hell's Paradise. I haven't watched every episode, but I've been really enjoying it. That being said, Vigilantes is reminding me that as much as that me and Val praised Vigilantes during JoyCast, Vigilantes isn't as good as I remember. I think it's got more problems than I remember. The fact that Pop really sucks as a character, I'm so sorry, Pop sucks. She gets fucking shit canned. She's a chew toy character in a very malicious way. That character does not really get many wins. And gets some really weird, uncomfortable humor surrounding her. I don't like it. The story's very soft on the problematic characters like Soga, the spiky guy, the fact that the dude was literally doing fucking sexual assaults, and then we kind of just we breeze over it. Even the anime like admits to itself that it's really glazing over it. I don't like that. Captain Celebrity, I am a Captain Celebrity enjoyer. I love him very much. But they also kind of glaze over his problematic side and go, oh yeah, no, he's just misunderstood. I'm like, no, the two things can be true. He is problematic and misunderstood. But he can't be one or the other. And they're like, nah, he's just misunderstood. No. He has to be both. He's more complex than that. And I don't appreciate that. But being said, though, it is the superior My Hero adaptation. I'm so sorry. The movie team is working on that. They are doing an incredible job. Everyone who saw that I think it was season 5 opening of My Hero, with the really comic booky looking opening, people are like, wow, why can't My Hero Academia look like that? That's what Vigilantes looks like all the time. It's so good. We finally got the Eraserhead arc, the backstory origin adaptation, and the fact that they did the fucking black paper texture animations stuff. It's not an animation style. It's just a filter they put over it. But I still really love that. I appreciate that style. They made it really look like it was from the 90s. That was really cool. I really liked that. So I'm really enjoying it, but I haven't been giving it my full attention. I've been dipping in and out. So now, what else have I been watching? Again, this for the whole entire first episode is kind of like a catch up. I'm hoping that future episodes, future live streams, I can kind of like narrow this down a bit for everyone, and I'm not rambling as long. I watched last week. Was it last week? I watched the premiere. Thank God I watched the premiere of the Amazing Digital Circus episode 8. I have been watching that series. I really enjoy it. But if you remember from JoyCast, I talked about how episode 1 is very much a manufactured success. That thing is like scientifically designed to be an internet hit, a very fan servicey hit of a show. And so I'm not a big, strong believer in episode 1. I have enjoyed the rest. It's been very cool to watch Goose evolve as a writer. Goose, funny enough, Goose put out a fucking a tweet about a few months back, maybe even a year ago, about how she needed tips on how to improve as a writer. And I remember putting my 2 cents in there. I'm like, hey, here's some tips on how I write stuff. And it got like she liked that tweet, and that one of the few tweets I've ever made that have got a lot of attention. And it's been fun to kind of watch Goose evolve as a writer and feel like, maybe I'm just being narcissistic. I feel like I've touched Amazing Digital Circus in a way. I feel like Goose did listen to what I said a little bit and did apply it, and I think that's really cool. I think the show has gotten very good. I've really enjoyed it. But thank God I watched the premiere. Because holy fuck, this very second that episode ended, there's no spoiler. There's no honor among thieves in the Digital Circus fandom. No spoiler warning. Immediately, Kane's dead. I can't believe Kane is dead. I can't believe this happened. I'm like, oh my god, you didn't even fucking wait. I'm so fucking glad I watched it immediately, because that moment did have impact. That being said, I think that episode 8 is the second worst episode in that series, only to the pilot. I already said my grievances with the pilot. I think it's very manufactured. It's very rough. It's very fan servicey. And I think that episode 8 of The Amazing Digital Circus is I think it's I'm going to change the image here. I think it is the lesser fan servicey version of episode 7, the previous episode. I think it's a lesser version. It's the same thing. I feel like if they had an episode order, if they could only do 9 episodes, or if they could be efficient and end the series, because I know episode 9's the last, if they could have ended it as 8 episodes, I feel like you could have cut some things from episode 7 and a lot from this episode 8, and combined it into one episode. It feels like a retread, and here's why. It has the same plot. We need to distract Kane. We need to get exposition. We need some last-minute exposition about what's really going on. We need to distract Kane, and then we need to have our fake out. We finally have the hope of getting out, and we need to get out and then have that Twilight. We need to have both our Twilight of the Soul moment, meaning we need to have our Twilight of Hope and our Twilight of Despair. And I feel like episode 7 is fucking brilliant. Where they finally get this hope of exposition, and Jax he's the audience stand-in. He's like, oh, this is bullshit. He's fucking lying. We're not gonna get out. And that's why the episode's brilliant. Because, like Jax, we know they're not getting out this episode. We know this is full of shit. What's the rub? What's the caveat? What's the twist? And we get to that point, and we're still we're not blown away by the twist. We're blown away about the reactions to the twist. The way that Jax just fucking unravels and fucking freaks the fuck out. They get that button, they get that choice. If you press one button, you'll come out. If you press the other button, you get to stay. And Jax, we get to learn about Jax in that moment. He is afraid that this is indeed... He's been coping with the digital circus by thinking it's not all real. It's all bullshit. Nothing is real. Nothing matters. He's a nihilist. And I can do what I want. I can say what I want. And the fact that he is presented with the sliver of hope in that twilight moment that maybe they do get out and they can be free and this is all real. But what that comes with real consequences. Every shitty thing that Jax ever did, he's probably responsible for people abstracting. He probably bullied them into that. That he's responsible for that. And he can't handle that. And he presses the fucking button to keep them all in there. To maintain the hope that A, it's not real, or B, it's real, but he has evaded consequences. And you knew that Kane was fucking with them. You knew there really wasn't a way out. But it's the Jax episode. You learn so much about Jax. And it's so fucking cool. And mind you, while this is going on, we're also learning a lot about Kane. We don't know for sure if it's real, but the way that Kane is responding, it's a really brilliant way of exposition of, hey, this might be bullshit, but Kane is an AI, and he's an AI with some self-awareness, and he really wants to impress people. He's really sensitive to feedback, and he's part of a game, and he wants to entertain people. And so Jax goes and distracts Kane. And we learn from Kane's reactions when Jax starts kissing his ass, Kane really likes this. And so you learn through Kane's reactions that there's some truth in here. And that's why you're getting kind of played by, oh my God, maybe they have found the way out. Because everything they're being told is true, the way that Kane is reacting to this feedback. That, oh my God, yeah, maybe he is AI. And that he does want understanding. And this makes him a little bit, I wouldn't call compassionate, but sympathetic. Compassionate requires understanding. I mean, yeah, don't fuck it. Yeah, we're compassionate towards Kane as well. Compassion is not an endorsement for the behavior. We can understand Kane. We can feel bad for Kane, but we don't justify what he is doing because he is torturing these people. So that's fucking amazing. So now let's go to episode 8, where it's the same shit all over again, but now instead of getting exposition from a fake AI, we're now getting this exposition again from Kinger. Why couldn't it just been Kinger for... again, we're doing the same shit all over again. We're more emotionally understand... We like Kinger more. We also know that Kinger hasn't given us all the information. It would have been so much cooler if Kinger was Abel. Or at least played Abel's role in episode 7. We're retreading, but we're doing it in a lesser form now. Also, the goal is to distract Kane again, except now, instead of having those really brilliant interactions with Kane has gone, he's just suddenly gone full villain mode. Because again, suddenly we were like, oh my God, we need to hit our end game. Suddenly, Kane is now just magically very evil. Bubble is suddenly very antagonistic. We have never gotten any proof that Bubble has been Kane's bad side, his insecurity. Him just whispering into your, oh my God, everyone fucking hates you, no one likes your bits, you're the lesser of the two AI. Where the fuck did this come from? Where the fuck did that come from? So suddenly Kane, it's unearned. we can't feel bad for Kane and justify his little villain moment when it happens so suddenly, when the best version of it already happened in the past. So now Kane, we're doing the distract Kane arc all over again, off camera, while he's bullying people. We literally could have combined this. We could have done this we could have had just a slightly longer episode 7. Replace Abel with Kinger. We could have had Kinger torturing people while also them really trying to hold strong and endear themselves to him. And in that moment, not, have this disingenuous villainous moment for Kane. And once again, I'm talking about the fan servicey, the fact that it gets so exposition heavy, because, okay, now the things that we were wishy-washy about in episode 7, now we need to confirm what actually fucking happened. What was actually real. And most of what's actually real ain't much different than what we got from episode 7. It's just a fucking retread. And then Kane's got to have his big villain song. That's the fan service. I love that song. That song's so fucking cool. We still could have done that in episode 7. And yeah, Drill, the order in which it's done is where it suffers. It's not even the order of events, Drill. It's the fact that everything that they did in 7, episode 8 is the same thing all over again, but a lesser off-screen version. This episode feels kind of rushed. I mean, it was like that. Is this the smallest amount of time we've had in between episodes? I'm wondering. I don't have the numbers in front of me. I think it's been 3 months. I'm not sure where the other ones were, but it feels like, again, we could have combined all of this and also left out the antagonistic shit of Kane. I understand that him being meaner increases the stakes. It makes things darker because we want to have our Twilight Soul. But episode 7 was so fucking brilliant. The mind game of that one was so brilliant. And we could have combined that mind game with us feeling bad for Kane. In episode 8, we don't feel bad for him anymore. He's being a fucking dick. And worst of all, it's unearned. It happens on a snap. Suddenly, he has a god complex because he's snapping. And we could have had a slower burn of this in episode 7. We could have earned that. Instead of it just... Because what happens in episode 7 does not build into what happens in episode 8 for Kane. Other than they were not happy with that adventure. We could have had both of this. We could have combined this. Because again, episode 8... They're obviously distracting him. He knows he's not dumb. Kane is not stupid. He's a narcissist, and that is his fault, but he's not fucking stupid. And the fact he knows Kinger is not there, and he's just letting it happen while he's torturing people off screen, it doesn't work. It doesn't fucking work. So it's such a retread. It's such an unnecessary repeat. The sudden god complex, and the only reason why I'm passionate about this is because it was right there. You could have combined 7 and 8 and made just a slightly 10-minute longer version of episode 7 and made that work. I know other people's criticisms have been that point where everyone stands up to Kane and like Pomni says, I never enjoyed your adventures. And it's like, she enjoyed Gummy Goo, and he calls her out on that. He puts her in that realm where Gummy Goo shows up. Gangle says, you never let us make input. Gangle, they literally did an adventure that you chose. They did the fast food adventure. So the shit don't make sense. This shit don't make sense. Nothing is, the math ain't math in episode 8 is what I'm really getting at. And so then you get the big moment where Kane dies. He gets accidentally. The fandom and all of us are debating if that was an accident or not. Kane gets deleted, and he gets that moment of, oh wait, and he's gone. I really like how that was done. I like that he didn't get to have a moment of, oh my god, I'm going. I like how honest they did a death scene of, no, death is very fast and ruthless, and you don't get to say goodbye. You're gone. I liked that, but everything that happened in episode 8 really undoes the power of that for me. Because You just completely undid Kane as a character for fucking 30 fucking minutes. He has this God complex moment and it doesn't feel earned. It feels very sudden. Bubble and everything. It just, nothing fucking makes sense. So he's just, any remaining sympathy or compassion you had for the guy up to that point is fucking gone. It's a good riddance. And I don't think that was Goose's intent for that moment. So he's gone. If there was any power of that moment, is the fact that when Zubul swears and the censor is gone. Again, the feedback I gave Goose about characterized dialogue and the fact that Goose swore and the censor was gone gave a moment a lot. That was masterful, a masterful characterized moment where a piece of flavored dialogue gave a scene more texture and impact. That was so fucking cool. What an incredible ending to an episode. Like, that's all I want to get at the end of the day. I criticize the things I love. I didn't hate episode 8. I just think that in a very strong series, episode 8 was one of the weaker ones because there's a superior version of it right before it. Now what happens next? I'm not one of those guys. Digital Circus is one of those things where I'm not there to fucking theorize or go in circles. It's a wonderful thing when the episode pops up and I go, oh wow, a new Digital Circus, and I'll watch it. So when it comes out, I've been told June or something. I can't wait to see it end. It's gonna be very exciting, and all the folks at Glitch Goose, wonderful fucking show. For me to talk about it at length this long. Good work. You've made something worth talking about. Even if that first episode was a manufactured internet fan servicey success, I like that it grew into a legitimate show. That was very cool. Something that's really worth talking about and dissecting on a critical level. Very cool. I also want a side note. I want to talk about, because we're kind of in the YouTube side. Like I said, I'm just talking about the things I want to talk. I don't want to just talk about anime and manga. I want to talk about TV and movies and YouTube too. And Digital Circus is on YouTube. What else has been getting my attention on YouTube is Tip to Tip. Are you familiar with the YouTuber Ludwig? I don't actively watch his work. But last year, when I came back from Japan, he started his journey in Japan with a show called Tip to Tip, where him and the fellow YouTuber Michael Reeves start at the southernmost tip of Japan, and with no maps, no phones, barely any knowledge of the language, they travel from one end of Japan to the other. And one end of Japan to the other, and I am not a fan. I'm not an active fan of Ludwig. I don't actively watch his content, but Tip to Tip is one of my favorite all-time things on YouTube. It's one of my favorite things on YouTube ever. And so 1 year later, they're doing it again in China. One end of China to the other. And their struggles with China are the same things that scare me from ever going from China. The language is very fucking difficult. Chinese is a very difficult language. With the Japanese, even if you struggle with the Japanese language, as Steve and I learned when we were in Japan, the Japanese can meet you in the middle. A lot of the Japanese language also has loan words from English. You can meet them in the middle with English. You want a hamburger, you can ask for a hamburger. You need to go to the bathroom, tori, or tori, which is just toilet. You can say toilet if you want. They'll understand you. In China, you do not have that. You don't have that privilege, that luxury. And not only that, but in China, they have like 30 different meanings for the same word, but it changes depending on the pitch and the tone. And that's what Ludwig and Michael are dealing with right now in China. That The word for hotel, if they don't use the right pitch and tone, also means pig shop and dictionary, among other things. So whenever they're looking for a hotel, they ask, where is the pig shop? And the Chinese are looking at it, and again, the Chinese are very nice, especially rural, because when you're doing a trip from southernmost China to northernmost China, you're going to hit a lot of rural areas. And there is rural hospitality. Anywhere you go in the world, that's what this series is teaching people. And it's the magic of this series. That, yes, there's a little bit of, and it's my biggest criticism of the series, there's a lot of cringe gaijin YouTube of, hey, I'm a white person, and I'm just going to fucking inject myself into this culture, and they've got to work with me. And I think it's a little unfair. It's a lot cringe, but when it works, it's very magical. And this series right now, I'm sure a lot of things are happening that they're not showing in the final videos. These are heavily edited. But the things they are showing are the magic of these type of challenges and these type of videos, where they're running into a lot of rustic hospitality, where even though they may not be getting the language right, there's a lot of very helpful people. There's a lot of... It's why humanity is such a cool place, and it's why I love this series, where they're finding people, and they're going, okay, I don't understand you, but I think I know what you want. And even if I can't figure out what you want, I know how I can help you. So the episode that just recently come out, like I said, there's been a lot of cringe. It's almost been borderline unwatchable for me. Because in Japan, they can figure things out quick, and Japan has a hospitality culture. Whereas in China, that culture does not exist. There's no culture of hospitality. But in China, there definitely is basic human, hey, this guy needs help, and my basic humanity knows I will come and fucking help you. I will be a goat and help you out here. And they've been struggling to talk to people. They've been having a hard time finding hotels. They've been having a hard time finding food. They go up, they drive by what they say is a pop-up restaurant, like a rural market. They pop in and go, oh, there's food here. And they run up to the guy. They run up to the guy who runs the joint and goes, food. When does the food open up here? And the guy goes, he kind of looks at him like, what the fuck? And he goes, we'll serve food at 5:30. And it's like 3 o'clock their time. And they're like, oh, okay, we'll go back. And so they leave. And that guy who they talk to flags them down and goes, no, come hang out with me. And so they're calling him the mayor of this town. It's a very small town. And they call him the mayor. And they're just hanging out with him. And they're driving by, and he's showing them around the city. They're going to these abandoned buildings, and they're walking through fucking like rooftops and getting this view of the city. And he goes, okay, time to eat. And they're like, okay. So they go to his house. He takes them to their house. The dude lives in a mansion. This guy is rich. He owns some type of business here. They learn as they talk to him. And they're at his house. They're hanging out with his family. His entire family is there. Again, this market. And coincidentally, everyone at the village is here. And everyone in the village is at this house, eating food, hanging out, and they hang out with him. And they're like, okay, so like you're just a restaurant owner. He goes, no, I'm a business owner. He goes, okay, what the food is for? He goes, celebration. Grandma lived for a very long time. She in the hospital now. She in bad shape. But we have a long festival to celebrate her. And like, oh, okay, cool. We came to a big village festival and we're going to celebrate. And they're having this guy is fucking awesome. They call him Mayor Lin. And they have a great time. They leave and like, man, that guy was awesome. The guy was fucking awesome. And he was really cool. And so now they release that video and you start getting the comments. Because a lot of Chinese people on Bilibili, there's a Bilibili version of this video series and they're watching. And part of the fun is watching the series is watching Chinese social media react to the series. And they go, they were not at a pop-up restaurant. They were not at a village festival. They were at that grandma's funeral. They walked up to a family's funeral. Imagine two foreigners walking up to your funeral and going, where's the food? When food? So imagine being in Lin's position, being basically the patriarch of your family, and going, watching two foreigners go, hey, where's the food? You got food at this funeral, right? And he says, hey, come hang out with me. Come chill with me for a bit. Come to my house. I'll feed you at my dinner table. I'll give you food. And they were just hanging out, and they ask, hey, so if this isn't a restaurant, what is this? And he's like, it's a celebration of my grandma's life. Brother found two obnoxious YouTubers, gave him a tour of the city with barely knowing the language, gave him a tour of the city, let him hang out all the cool hangs, came back to his house, sat them down at their dinner table, hung out on this couch, they sang karaoke together, and they finally got it out. Sebastian in the chat, straight out the casket crazy style. Eating straight out the casket crazy style. Yes, they literally ate this grandmother's bones, man. Yeah, so he didn't want, Lin, the mayor of this village, the mayor in quotes, did not want to harsh their vibe and said, no, it's not a funeral, it's a celebration of my grandmother. And he waved goodbye. He said, come back anytime. Come hang out with us. Simultaneously, the cringiest thing ever and the most wholesome thing ever. People are fucking incredible. And for all my... I think there are some boundaries. There's some YouTuber-type shenanigans that I do not like about this series. But oh my god, it is the most incredible... fucking piece of, I would call it I think Tip to Tip is a documentary. It's a documentary about, let's just throw two random influencers in the middle of places that people normally wouldn't go, that we don't have the privilege of getting to enjoy, and say, hey, go out and explore. Stop the normal tourist routes, grab a bike, grab a car, walk by foot, take the local trains, and go to places you normally wouldn't, and figure it out. Don't impose. I don't like the idea of imposing yourself on people and say, hey, you have to take care of me. But I like the idea that people are just so fucking cool and they'll take care of you, and they don't have to take care of you, but at least like Lin, they will hang out with you. There is humans, even if there's a language barrier, even if there's a culture barrier, all this fucking propaganda and all this fucking shit in between us, at the end of the day, there is a natural magnetism between people. It doesn't matter what they say about each other. There is a natural instinct. It's in our fucking DNA. As animals, as human beings, as great apes called Homo sapien, we have this magnetism to each other. That we will see people just like us, who look different from us, who speak different from us. We've been told things about them. This village full of people, these are probably the first white people they've ever seen in person. Maybe they've ever seen online. China has a lot of censorship. And we see people who are different from us and go, I gotta know what you are. I don't care if you're the enemy. You could have a fucking bomb strapped to your chest for all I fucking know. I don't fucking know anything about you. But I have this natural curiosity and I want to fucking hang out with you. I want to take care of you. I want you to eat at my table. Regardless, I mean, this guy was rich. This guy had the privilege of being curious and being able to take care of people. But I feel like everyone, because in Japan, because the Japan ones... We found people, because Japan is economically in a dire state right now, and they found some very off-the-road people. And again, Japan's culture is a bit differently, where even if they don't want to, there is a compulsion to help people. With China, they're really putting this to the test, where there is just something natural in people, whether it's culturally taught or not, to fucking just chill with each other, and hang out, and be curious, and be friends. That is, I'm not sure if it's by accident or if it's by intent, but that's what Ludwig is finding with this fucking series, and it's awesome. Also, it has moments like this, as I'm about to play. I think this is one of the funniest fucking things I've ever fucking seen.
Oh! My airbag vest blew up.
No!
My airbag vest blew up. That hurts. That hurts for sure. Doesn't look bad. 3 times I blew up my airbag vest. God, that hurt my nipples.
Motherfucker be looking like Max Goof at the beginning of the Goofy movie when they go on the road trip and his life vest goes off. So when they go across these countries, they ride motorcycles, and this time around they've like upped their tech. They have built-in light. They have airbags in their vests, and they were getting cold, so they start dancing on the side of the street to warm themselves up. And that little guy's vest just fucking explodes on him. Let me get to the fucking scene where it's all inflated.
My airbag vest blew up.
Let's get the shot.
My airbag.
He looks like Kermit from the Talking Heads skit from the Muppet Show. Letting the days go by, same as it ever was. So fucking funny. So fucking funny. Very cringe, but also very wholesome. It's my favorite thing on YouTube. I wish Ludwig would abandon his cringe influencer ways, whatever he's doing. I don't even know what he's actually doing. But whatever he's doing, I wish he just did this. Because for better and worse, the greatest fucking content I've ever fucking seen. It's so fucking good. So with that said, what else is there for me to talk about? Oh yeah, it's I think it's time to talk about Chainsaw Man. Thank you, Chainsaw Man, right? I'm looking at my docket right now. Oh, no. There's one more thing I talk about. So when I was gathering images, because I planned to do this yesterday. I was like, you know what? I'm going to do this show tomorrow. So I'm going to start gathering images. I'm going to start getting a little bit my pulse back in the pop culture. And I log into Twitter for the first time forever. And the very first thing that is thrown in my face is this. Fox is in the Super Mario movie? What? And he's got his fucking classic sidekick Ukiki, and he's got his patent, his super famous wrench box that's filled to the brim with the Epstein files. Now, based on things I've heard before, in the trailers, people were freeze framing trailers, and people were saying that there was like this little blurred side hip shot. People had already speculated a lot that Fox was in there. So to me, it feels like Nintendo finally got tired of the speculation. Went, yeah, Fox is in there. But the fact that they just randomly drop a fucking poster. I know, like they had a little mini, they had like a little video poster where the Pikmin were in it. And Nintendo's been hiding the Pikmin everywhere. In all Nintendo media, even in their parks at Universal. They've been putting Pikmin. Pikmin have been kind of like the minions of Nintendo. They've always just been lingering around. That's not a surprise. But the fact, yeah, everyone's saying fucking Smash Bros. Movie when, Captain N movie when. That's the setup. But the fact that they just randomly dropped Fox, and I'm pissed. Because the Mario movie, I'm not a hater of the Mario films. I think they're probably the best looking films Illumination does. I think they're harmless. I think they're very vapid though, very empty. I don't think there's a lot going on in them. But visually they're very entertaining. They're very cute. They're very fun for kids. This movie's starting to look very bloated. They're announcing a lot of characters, a lot of references, a lot of things. This movie seems to be a lot of visual movement. A lot of shit is happening. And I believe the fact that they have released a poster of Cloud versus showing him in a trailer means I feel like Fox's appearance is going to be very brief in this film. It's going to be like, oh my god, like Mario Luigi, oh god, Bowser's castle planet's moving too fast. How are we going to catch? That's what they talk like. We're going to catch it, Luigi. And then all of a sudden, fucking Fox McCloud shows up. He's voiced by Will Arnett, I believe. That's not confirmed. That's what I'm speculating. In before it's confirmed. And Fox is like, I can get you there. I don't know Star Fox lore. I can get you there fast. And he does that pose right there in the poster. Oh my god, who's this guy? And they jump in his plane in the final chase. He gets them there. He shoots them out of a little pod, or he does a fucking Top Gun reference where he shoots them out of the emergency. chair. It'll be very brief. That's what I believe. I believe Fox is in this for like 30, 60 seconds max. And that's why they have to show a poster. But I thought it was very worthwhile showing that, talking about that, because it just came out of nowhere, man. Just came out of nowhere. So next thing. Okay. It's now time to talk about Chainsaw Man. Or rather, is it alright, guys, if I took like 30 seconds to do what, as Chu-chan would say, do an oil change? Give me like 30 seconds. I'm going to quickly do a little oil work. I'll be right back so that I can talk properly about Chainsaw Man ending. BRB, 30 seconds. Not even going to put a little transition out. I'm just going to run. Enjoy the dead silence for 30 seconds. Okay, I'm back. I was gone for longer than 30 seconds. So, if you were timing my piss breaks, I grabbed a snack too. So, I promise it was a 30-second piss. I just went real fast. I need some snacks. We're getting close to lunch. This is a morning show. So, when you do a show in the morning, you get very close to lunchtime, and Mr. Entertainment needs his lunch. So, I knew at least need a little snack. Else I'm gonna pass out on the microphone here. But yeah. Sorry, mouthful. This is very unprofessional. Whatever happened to Naomi? Naomi probably went to work, because Naomi has a big girl job. It's cool that she popped in, though. Almost done. 2 more pieces. I'm eating a Welch's fruit snack. I'm eating Welch's. That's been a whole ordeal in my house. Guys, I'm in my mid-30s now. So now I'm starting to be very careful with my shirt. I think I'm doing meals pretty good. So Steve and I, because the economy has been so bad, we're a bit house poor. Like, don't feel bad for us. I always say, don't feel bad for us. We're just house poor. We a lot of our money goes into our house. Because a mortgage is better than rent. But it does come with maintenance fees and escrow, and property taxes. So we get in the past year when we were trying to get our finances in order. Stina had the bright idea of becoming more not vegan but vegetarian, where we're not giving up meat, we're not being picky about the things we're eating, but to make more vegetable-based meals. And for me, so I'm the Christina. So basically, so like let me give you like the abridged version of Stina and I's household. Stina and I, because after all, like say, go back to that stream where I talked about the financial situation and how bad 2025 was. Over the past couple of years, YouTube was my full-time job. Before I was a full-time YouTuber, I was a full-time hospital worker. That was a great job, but it absolutely obliterated my mental health and also physical well-being, and I had to quit. And YouTube was going very well for a little while, so I said, okay, I'm going to be a full-time YouTuber. So I was a full-time YouTuber, but then over the past year, YouTube just imploded on us. I was not making a full-time job money anymore, And that really, because we were always kind of living, like we always lived on a modest edge. And without YouTube, we plummeted. So what was Stina basically has 3 jobs. She does Chu-chan streaming. That's her creative endeavor. She does commercial VO. And then she works at a dog kennel. It's a boarding for dogs. It's like overnight boarding for dogs. And basically, it's a very simple job, but it can be laborious. There's a lot to do, but it's very simple. It's very modest pay, modest work, and even for all the labor that involves, at the end of the day, you do get to play with a lot of cute dogs. And so that's Stina's 3 jobs. And so she had that while I was just being the gamer girlfriend at home. My full-time job was YouTube. So the money wasn't doing well. So instead of completely imploding the YouTube channel and saying, well, I guess we just quit forever, I took some full-time hours at Stina's dog kennel job. So Stina works a little bit more there than I do, but I also jumped there. So that's why I don't have all the free time in the world anymore to work on YouTube. It's why my time is limited. That's why videos are coming out slower now. But it was a necessity to get our finances in order, but also to not completely kill the YouTube channel. So she has 3 jobs. I have 2 jobs. Part-time Mr. Entertainment, part-time at this dog kennel. So we got the profit margins in check, but we also had to deal with cost of living. And groceries are fucking insane right now. Gas. We thought we had gas under control, but fucking gas is now back up for world news. And Steve and I wanted to get our cost of living under control. And I say, and I'm only bringing the story because it's something you should consider if you are also financially independent and you're also trying to get your fees in order. Because since Stina works more than I do, I tend to do the bulk of the cooking. And that's been one of my things in the past year. While YouTube has been killing my mental health, I've been learning to find self-worth and value in other skill sets. And so I've been learning to do the bulk of the cooking. I've been learning to cook and bake and learn new recipes. And Stina had the brilliant suggestion to start learning vegetarian dishes, because vegetarian meals are vastly cheaper than traditional proteins. I used to be a fucking ground beef and chicken guy. But as, cost of living has gone up, as groceries gone up, meat's gotten more expensive. And I've had to learn to cook with alternatives. And, so I've been learning how to cook with vegetables. And so that's what I'm getting at is, vegetables are cheaper. Vegetarian meals, not only are they healthier, they're cheaper. Son Goku is interrupting you. How so? Are you hearing something? Sorry, you kind of like combo broke me there, Alex. But yeah, so I'm trying to do vegetarian meals, and it's been a huge difference. It's been a huge. We should make a recipe. Yo, Sebastian, I've literally been making a recipe. I've literally been documenting a recipe book in my Google Docs. I have a document with each page has one of my fucking patented Mr. Entertainment recipes. If I was that type of influencer, there was a Dragon Ball Legends ad. Okay, Alex. Okay. Well, good to know that I'm in the anime side of YouTube still. I'm getting good ads, not getting a bunch of political ads. But yeah. If I was that type of influencer, if people I might make a JoyRide cookbook someday and throw it on there, because I'm making very simple recipes, like an hour max, like between pulling out the ingredients, chopping them up, preparing them, cooking them. No more than an hour, ideally 30 minutes. I like to make things very simple because I don't want to get overwhelmed. I only have so much time in the day. And also I want to be, and I want to be, not only that, I want to be healthier. I'm a gym rat. I need high protein meals But like I said, I'm trying to, but I need them to be cheap because cost of living is up. The meals need to be simple for time, for cost, and that's what I've been getting at with the Welch's. I'm trying to be healthier. Because I'm getting in my mid-30s now. I'm not having any health issues, but I want to start making those good habits now. I want to start being healthier now. I want Stina to be healthier. And so we're trying to make as many, I'm trying to develop as many vegetarian recipes as possible. And not only that, I'm trying to have healthier snacks, because when we went through our depression arc last year, we ate nothing but garbage. We drank. If I wasn't drinking, C and I were fucking smoking or eating edibles every fucking night. If we weren't doing that, we were drinking alcohol. And above that, we were eating fucking sweets, candy. I used to be a much healthier person. I'm still in great shape. I've lost a lot of weight. That's the funny thing is, like, I say like a healthier. I'm very privileged. I've got good genes. I'm one of those guys. I'm not those gym bro influencers. Like, you got to do this, and that. You have to cut. It's all in the food. I'm one of those guys who goes, it's genetics, man. A lot of fitness is a lottery pick, and I won the lottery. I am a naturally svelte, skinny guy, and so if I'm not healthy, I just lose weight. And so pre-Japan, I was 160 pounds. I was in the... So that's the funny thing is, before Japan, before YouTube imploded on me, I got into was probably the best shape in my life. I was running the track every morning because I knew Japan had a lot of walking involved, and because I was still a full-time YouTuber, I got very sedentary. I'm like, all right, I want to get my stamina back up, get my lungs in good shape. So I ran every day. I went to the gym 4 times a week, and I got to 160 pounds of muscle and great running stamina. Best shape in my life with some healthy body fat. I never had healthy body fat. I was always an all or nothing guy. When I was in high school, when I was boxing, I was 95 pounds soaking wet, like fucking skinny muscle. I was built like a weasel. All muscle. No, not an ounce of fat. Very unhealthy. But then when I started playing hockey and in college, I jumped to 180 pounds of solid fucking muscle. Still no fat, but at least my body had something to work with. So that I was 180 pounds of solid fucking muscle. I looked like a fucking Greek god. And if you guys were fans of me in the early days, pretty much pre-JoyRide and early JoyRide, I used to be in front of a camera a lot because when you got it, you fucking flaunt it. And I looked like a fucking Greek god. But then as the years went on, COVID was kind of what broke me. After COVID, my gym time greatly decreased. And then I quit the hospital, became a full-time YouTuber, and then I went in that pre-Japan, that pre-Japan health kick. I still wasn't eating healthy, but my fitness was at a heightened level. I was 160 pounds of a good balance of muscle and great fat. Best I ever fucking looked. And I looked good and I felt good. Went to Japan, lost all that fat. And lost that muscle too, because I was in Japan for 2 weeks, half a month, was not working out, was exclusively walking long distances. Stamina was still good, but I was walking and eating. Japan's food quality is unreally fucking good. You could still eat dirty in Japan. Don't make the mistake. Don't fall for the stereotypes. Japan food can be very salty and very unhealthy if you make the wrong choices. But for me and Stina, we ate very good for the most part in Japan. I lost 10 pounds in 2 weeks in Japan because I lost all my healthy fat and I lost a little bit of muscle. I come back from Japan, and the whole year that progressed from there, very unhealthy. I was not going to the gym nearly as much because I had to go get this dog kennel job. The dog kennel job, just like Japan, it's a lot of walking. My stamina is still good. I'm walking long distances for this job. Stamina good. But as far as the gym goes, now I'm only going to the gym 2 to 3 days a week max, and my workout has also very much lessened. I'm in a nice little comfortable maintenance workout now. So from there, I'm basically now my weight. I'm back to where I don't like to be, where I'm like floating between 148 and 152. I go back and forth. It depends on how good I'm eating and what kind of workout I'm getting. I wish I could get back to where I was at 160, but that's what I'm dealing with right now. Life is in the way. I just don't have the time anymore because I have my 2 jobs and I have to be kind to my body because one of my jobs is very labor intensive. So I can get injured very easily now because I'm getting older. So I have to do the one thing I never really believed in, and that was the diet. I have to be watching my diet because that year I was losing weight, I was just eating trash. Steve and I were eating ice cream, like besides the drinking and the weed, we were also eating ice cream like every night. And that's not good for your blood sugar, guys. It doesn't matter how healthy you are. That's putting your liver and your kidneys through a fucking through an ordeal. So we were like, hey, vegetarian, also watch the snacks. And so that's the long-winded version of I replaced a lot of my unhealthy snacks, ice cream, fucking brownie bites, and all this other shit. I replaced it with Welch's. I get to have a little Welch's. I usually don't have them at home. I just had them today because I haven't had them in a while. But when I'm at work and I need just a little sugar to get me going, I can have a pack of Welch's because it's just a nice little 1-pack. Keeps things controlled. It's sweet. It tastes good. And I'm happy with that. I also, what else do I eat for snacks? I do almonds. Almonds are great for you. Almonds, Cheerios. I like raspberries. And so, like, I'll just mix those things together, make a little snacky bag, and those are my treats. But then when I really want to treat myself, there's a cookie shop once a week. There's a cookie shop right next to where I work, and their cookies are like world famous. I've seen YouTube influencers from around the world go to this cookie shop, and it's in bumfuck nowhere. They go to this cookie shop. It's called Heidi's Cookies. I don't want to dox myself, but it's called Heidi's. And if you're ever in my neck of the woods, try Heidi's. It's the best cookie you'll ever eat, and Steve and I will treat ourselves to that once in a while. And if we're not treating ourselves to that, like I said, I've been trying to cook and I've been learning to bake. This past Christmas, Stina's parents got us a really high quality mixer, and I've been learning to bake. And I bake what's called Unga Bunga cookies. Stina describes basically cooking. Like I'm better at cooking than I'm at baking because cooking is more like by taste. Cooking is like jazz. You can kind of improvise it to your taste. But baking is like chemistry. You have to get every little measurement right or you fucks it up. And I definitely agree with that statement. And that's how I became a better baker, is when I understood that mentality. That being said, I have a thing called Unga Bunga cookies that I make. And they're called Unga Bunga cookies because it's my caveman mentality of, I don't want to do chemistry. I just want to bake something with the ingredients I think are good. So I literally developed my own patented cookie recipe called Unga Bunga cookies. They're not as good as Heidi's, but they're the second best thing. I think I have the second best cookies in the world, depending on what kind of cookies you like. If you're the type of guy who likes the big, fluffy, round, spherical cookies, where they're crispy on the inside, and they're just slightly underbaked in the middle. And they're chocolate chips. Sometimes I throw other things in them, but for the most part, they're just chocolate. They're just classic chocolate chip cookies, egg, flour, baking powder, salt. It's the classic chocolate chip. Can they be gluten-free? I haven't done it yet. Probably. But they're called Unga Bunga cookies. And besides the flour, I do have to get the flour right. Everything else is a slapdash into a bowl with the mixer. I mix it all in. I make a giant basketball of dough. I then just dump a cup of chocolate chips on it. So it just becomes this basketball full of chocolate chips. I then just pull out. I get them into like tennis. I turn a basketball full of chocolate chips and dough into tennis ball sizes. Again, this is very against the book, and I just make these giant spherical cookies, and they are a fucking winner. They are a fucking winner. I've been giving them out as gifts during the holidays because like I said, my ass is poor, but people eat my cookies as a gift. I can make some very inexpensive Unga Bunga bites with people. Stina loves them, I love them, but they are a threat to our health because although they are better than processed goods, they are still very sugary. So I have yet to perfect a less sugary version. Because to make them sugar free, to use sugar substitutes, very expensive. Unfortunately, healthier baking is expensive. So I haven't unlocked that yet, but I think that when finances will improve for us, I want to become a healthier baker because I do miss I miss making my Unga Bunga bites weekly. Stina also has a patented cookie recipe that I think people like better than my Unga Bunga bites, and they're the pumpkin puffs, and they're these pumpkin cookies. We baked them together one time, where they are just a classic, very soft, velvety cookies. They're not as puffy as mine. They're a little bit more flat, but they're just soft, velvety. They're rolled in this cinnamon pumpkin pie spice. We make them a lot during the fall, and they're a huge winner too. So when me and Stina are making gifts for people during the holidays, we will make a little basket full of Unga Bungas and pumpkin puffs. And delicious. Have I lost the audience yet? Like, I'm talking about food and baking when I'm supposed to be talking about Chainsaw Man. This is Anime JoyRide, and I'm talking about baking and cooking. Drill is planning banana bread right now. Brother, me too. I want to make banana bread so bad. Before Steve and I moved into her house when we lived in her apartment, she made some awesome banana bread. That I want to get back to. I need to make banana bread. Like I said, I've been so depressed. And don't worry about. I'm not saying depressed to make people feel bad. I'm hopeful. I will get out of this, and I'm trying to find ways to get out of this. Because when we went to Boise, we visited some friends, and they let him, typical millennials. They're cooking sourdough bread. I was like, you know what? I should learn to cook bread. I used to make a thing called shark bread. I was in college. I used to use these pre-made bread doughs, and I would mold it into the shape of a shark, and then I'd slather it in garlic sauce, and then I just shove it in the oven, and it would just implode into this giant puffy shark, and I call it shark bread. And I always bring it to the hockey potlucks. People thought I was insane. It's because I was insane. It was really good. A little undercooked, but when you're a poor college student, this shit hit. That's the problem in my household, though. Not the problem. Honestly, it's the solution to my household. Unfortunately, Steve and I don't really like bananas. We don't like because we're autistic as fuck. We like the taste of banana, but we don't necessarily like the texture. So we never really eat. So we never have a reason to buy them. But if we did, because Steve and I are so bad with acquiring things or getting through things fast enough, we always have a bad habit of letting fruits expire. So if our bananas got over, if we were active banana eaters, they would get overripe, and then we'd have a way to use them for banana bread. But the fact that our finances, our groceries are getting better, one of these days I should just buy a thing of bananas and kind of have them sit in the middle of our counter as kind of like a ticking time bomb, so that either me or Stina can man the fuck up and make this banana bread, because we should make it. My mom recently made I don't think it was she either made a banana bread or it was a pumpkin bread. And she put chocolate chips in it. It was so fucking good. But yeah, we need to make banana bread. I need to do a cooking show. I know they exist. I know anime fucking cooking shows exist. I know anime fitness fucking channels exist. But I should put my hat in that ring, huh? I can do those things. I need to find a niche. I think what the kids are calling niche. I want to keep myself safe, bro. The way these kids talk about niches. I need to find a niche that no one has done yet. It's the only thing that's gonna save this fucking channel. Or make a new one that works. But yeah. We've talked enough about food. Let's talk about a real feast. Let's talk about Chainsaw Man. Let's talk about Chainsaw Man. Yeah, so people got opinions on Chainsaw Man based on these images. So I'm gonna rip the Band-Aid right now. The last time I read Chainsaw Man was JoyCast. If everyone remembers from JoyCast, Val and I dropped Chainsaw Man Part 2 at the same time. It was not long after the Falling Devil fight, because we both had the same. Val and I had the same consensus that Chainsaw Man Part 2 was a shitpost. We knew, we were warned when he did that one shot. Just listen to the song. That Fujimoto was just there to make the meme image of the week, get everyone talking, and then move on to the next one, while his assistants just scribbled for him. There was no plot. There was nowhere. We dropped it. I don't know what happened between there or what happened during the end. I read the last 2 chapters. And I don't know what happened in between other than Michigan Sword and California Sword. I know those things. Again, I've been exposed to the meme images, but I don't actually know what actually happened. And because of that, because I dropped it and then went right to the end, I love the ending of Chainsaw Man Part 2. I don't like Chainsaw Man Part 2. But I do respect it. And I really respect the ending. And I really enjoy the ending. And here's why. Because Fujimoto, during an interview, I know chat's in the way, but I'll read it to you. He says, I do want to get the main engine of the story down on paper. And there are themes I want to convey. But I also create my manga in such a way that I don't convey everything. There are totally unrelated events and gag scenes. I said before, he's the meme guy, that I hope will divert the awareness of the readers. My assistant sans say, I'm always fiddling with everything. Do you know the movie The Big Lebowski? That movie really made me think. What even was that? When I was done watching it, nothing was resolved. Wasn't everything pretty meaningless? But still, the protagonist had development, and the story progressed. There was this sublime absurdity that I loved. I want Chainsaw Man to give the reader that kind of aftertaste too. So on that note, I sincerely hope you read Part 2 as well, and I am personally quite looking forward to the animation as well. So please watch the anime. Imagine the hype and all of the critical success of that movie, Chainsaw Man the Reze arc, and this is what your fandom and the impression of your story devolves into. Thank you, Chainsaw Man. Thank you, Attack on Titan. Thank you, Sorcery Fight. Thank you, Batman. Thank you, Naruto. Thank you, Boruto, Naruto Next Generations. Thank you, UR. Mob Psycho 100, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 6 Stone Ocean. Thank you, man. Brilliant. Wonderful. Even if it is a downgrade. The Big Lebowski is a comedy, though. Chainsaw Man's a comedy, though. Part 2, at least. We'll always have, guys, we will always have Part 1. We can, and that's what I'm trying to get at. I love Part 2 because you can ignore it. This is an ending that actively invites you to have whatever fucking reaction you want. Do you want to hate it? Go ahead and hate it. You want to love it? You just enjoyed the roller coaster ride? You can love it. in my personal opinion, it is a Disney-ass fucking ending. But it's a happy ending. It's a good ending. I think it's a good ending in the wrong manga. I think a lot, but I look back to what Fujimoto said. I just want to get a reaction out of people. I want things to be left unresolved. I want the reaction to be, that was it. I want an odd aftertaste in people's mouths. Motherfucker stated his goals. This is not after the fact. He said this months ago, this interview. Motherfucker succeeded. That's we can clown on him all he fucking wants. But the man controls the moment. This man lives in the present. He wants the big meme image. He wants the reaction shots. He wants you to feel weird about it. He wants you to go, what? Fuji, what? He loves that. The man is a madman. He's a madman. He's a mastermind. I won't call him a mastermind, though. I don't think he's that smart. But I do think, again, like I talked about the magic of West, you couldn't do this in the West. It's not that you couldn't do it, it's that no one wants to do it. No one wants to produce this type of story. And I give Fujimoto credit. He did Chainsaw Man, Part 1, that was also very brave for its time. Very, very, what's the word? I hate the word subversive. It was very exciting. We'll call it exciting for now, for lack of a word. And Part 2, you know, in the way that I thought was wrong, but based on what he's saying here, no, very much by design. He made a very exciting, talked about story in global media. Everyone was talking about this. That being said, if you've seen the global sales of Chainsaw Man, in my eyes, in short, it was on decline. Chainsaw Man was in a steep decline, and the movie did not help it. And the manga sales did not help it by much. But I think that even in its decline, Chainsaw Man, people wish, even in its decline, every mangaka wished they had the sales that Chainsaw Man had. That being said, when you are an editor or a producer at the biggest, Shonen Jump is one of, if not the biggest media companies on the planet. And when you are a giant, super giant conglomerate moneymaker, in human eyes, you only have one goal. Line on graph must go up. And Chainsaw Man, even though its down arrow was still super profitable, the line was going down. And they must have given Fujimoto the permission to end it. They said, you know what? Line going down, Fujimoto, as you fire at will, end it as you please. And Fuji went, okay. And Fuji said bet. Fuji said bet. And that's what happened. Because again, I haven't read the middle. People say this felt very sudden, and that is my educated guess that I know for a fact, based on this interview, Fujimoto was fucking playing around. And as me and Val suspected before we dropped it, and on JoyCast we said, this guy is doing a game in perpetuity. He's just playing along. There's nowhere to go. It's just getting a reaction every week. He's there until they tell him to stop. And it feels like they finally told him to stop, and he slammed the fucking brakes. So on that end, if it feels very sudden, I feel like if there's any warranted negative reaction to the ending of Chainsaw Man, that's warranted. But be mad at Shonen Jump, don't be mad at Fujimoto. I feel like Fujimoto should stay the fuck away from Shonen Jump. I feel like Shonen Jump kills a lot of creativity. It's because it's the biggest media company, the most influential media company on the planet right now. But you get that way because it's a very difficult manga to stay in. It's ruthless. And to maintain on that magazine and to stand up to that pressure, you lose a lot of creative control. You lose a lot of breathing room. It becomes jazz, man. Fujimoto's probably the best jazz artist on Jump. Even if his fucking story became a fucking incomprehensible mess, we were still talking about it. We were still fucking talking about it, bro. To the very fucking end. I dropped it, and what little social media I was still following in that time, I was still getting thrust with Chainsaw Man reactions, baby. He controlled the culture. He had it, man. And he was ready to drop it. And he'll be fine. There's no loss for him. All of his one-shots are getting adapted into fucking animated films. He'll be fine. In my eyes, the man should just focus on one-shots. And if he's not going to focus on one-shots, he can go do storyboards for animated films, because I know he loves that. He loves his movies. He can do whatever he wants. I just want him to stay the fuck away from Weekly Jump. Because even though he was on Manga Plus at the end, he was still under the pressures of Weekly Jump. He was Manga Plus only by name. He was main magazine guy. And that weekly pressure was fucking killing him. That's how Toriyama survived. You know, comedies know how to survive quickly. And I wouldn't say Toriyama survived. No, Toriyama died. I'm sorry, manga killed Toriyama. Manga killed Mira, Berserk. He did not survive. You think he could do monthly? I don't think so. I think Fujimoto can do whatever the fuck he wants. Also, thank God for Modulo. We're saving Modulo for no time. So when I was on vacation in Boise, we're going to bring this back full circle. I read the first 5 chapters of Modulo. I wanted to read more, but I had a very busy vacation, and I came back very busy. I will talk about Modulo on this on this live stream when I finish Modulo. I will say, so far, I have very pleasant feelings about Modulo. But we will get there in time. We are 2 hours over. Like, we are. I did not know. Like I said, speaking of jazz, this podcast live stream, I don't know what this is. This is jazz. I'm just improvising what I'm getting in front of a microphone, and I'm just screaming into the void, and I'm hoping to keep talking with you. Thank you for talking with me and seeing my reactions to things. Keep talking with me in the chat. I'm glad to keep this dialogue going with you. That was my feeling going into this. This is public relations. I just missed you guys. I miss the golden age of JoyRide, where I could just jump onto a stream and just talk about anything and play anything I wanted, and an audience would show up and we could just talk together about things. And that's what I want to get back with Good Morning Animerica. And the reason it's Good Morning in America and not Good Evening, not Good Afternoon, is because this is when I have the most free time and energy. It's in the morning. I know the hour can be inconvenient for some people, but that's what VODs are for, everyone. So don't be a stranger in the comments section and give me suggestions. What would you like me to talk about? React to what I just said about all of these things. I talked about a lot more than I thought I was. I cannot promise in the future I will have this many things to talk about, but I will have things to talk about. I want to talk about things in front of you. I'm also hoping to get myself on camera again. I'm a PNG tuber today because this was very spur of the moment, and I couldn't get things set up in time. But I think it would be even more personal if I was on camera. If I'm not, I'm not. It's gonna be back and forth. Some days I'm on camera. Some days I'm just this little PNG tuber. But yeah, and then some days I might just play games. Again, lots of things took my time. Again, so much stuff happened in March. You know what else happened in March? Pokemon Platinum Kaizo came out. That's a Nuzlocke ROM hack, a challenge hack of Pokemon Platinum. I've been playing that all the fucking time behind the scenes. I would love to do a Nuzlocke run on stream for you guys to show you the magic of this. I don't like Kaizos, but something about this one, man, it hits differently. Behind the scenes, I'm not playing it as a Nuzlocke. I'm doing more of a research run where I'm just playing it. I'm playing it vanilla. I'm just catching what I want. I'm playing what I want. I'm not doing permadeath, and I'm just kind of experiencing the challenge of it because I'm not that good. I'm not that good as a Nuzlocker. I'm a vibe Nuzlocker. I don't like to do math. And if you want to win a Kaizo, you gotta do math. It's the hardest type of challenge hack in Pokemon. You need to do math. But what I love about the culture right now is people are coming to my side. People are doing what's called vibe locking, where we're not looking at the documentation. We're not doing calculations. People are just going on vibe. They're doing research runs, although they're doing permadeath research runs. Like a lot of my favorite ones, Pichow and, well, not Pichow. I hate Pichow. I love Pichow Daily. Pichow is my least favorite YouTuber, but Pichow Daily, I love Pichow Daily. He's cool. If you're into that side of YouTube, you know what I'm talking about. You get that joke. Moxie Boosted's doing it. Flygon's doing it. Like I like that the culture is moving away from sitting in front of a fucking computer and doing 2 hours of calculations just to do one trainer battle. Instead, we are vibe nuzlocking, where we're just running randomly and we're learning on the go. It makes the stakes scarier. It makes the game move faster, even though the runs are not going to be successful. But it's cool to watch that the whole roguelite element of it really shine. And I would like to do one for you guys after I learn a bit more. Because I've done this. I'm doing my third research run. Basically, I've been soft nuzzling. Like I've been getting to each gym leader and then restarting. Is how I've been doing. Because I get to each gym leader and I don't know what to do. So then I go back. And then I do the right catches, and I get the right feedback, and I do the right exploring, and then I figure out how to do that gym leader. So when I learn enough, I want to get on stream here with you guys, and I would like, as an episode, do a Nuzlocke run. And that shit could end in 10 minutes. It could end in 2 hours. Depends on how far I go. But I can't imagine it going longer than 1 or 2 installments, because Emerald Kaizo is the crown jewel. It's looking out to be probably the best challenge hack ever fucking made. And the hardest. But in a way that's very interesting. Because for example, I'm not sure that I know the guy who did Platinum Kaizo is the guy who did Emerald Kaizo. And my criticism of Emerald Kaizo is that you have to get the right encounter, or your run is completely dead. You may as well reset if you don't get fucking Slowbro or somebody on a route. Or Latios. Like, you don't get that one, you may as well fucking reset. It's very, very encounter dependent. Kaizo seems to be a lot more forgiving, at least when it comes to encounters. Where they seem to be giving a lot of Pokemon the same tool set in terms of moves. What defines a Pokemon in that one is its ability and its stats, which is where luck of the draw happens. But the movesets, every Pokemon is getting very similar tool sets in terms of moves, and I like that. It's more forgiving, at least so far. Maybe it gets harder as the game goes on. I haven't gotten past the second gym leader yet, Gardenia. But I'm very familiar with the Rorik split right now. And I'm learning which Pokemon are superior to others, but I'm also learning that a lot of Pokemon can do a lot of things with the right team makeup. But yeah, so I'll get into more details about that in the future, but that's what I'm eyeing right now. I would like to do a Nuzlocke in the future. I want to talk more about TV that I'm watching. I'm trying to fall in love with media again. I spent the entire last year just depressed, trying to get the channel from dying. I wasn't really enjoying I wasn't exposing myself to much media or enjoying it anymore. So like what you saw during the JoyRide Mr. Entertainment Awards, that's the bulk of the media that I had last year. As you've just seen, what I've just discussed today on this episode alone is vastly more than what I experienced last year. I love entertainment. That's why I'm Mr. Entertainment, guys. I love entertainment. I love media. I don't want to be a hater anymore of it. I just want to talk about the things that I enjoy, and that's what we're going to get back to with this show. So that being said, I'm going to sign off with today. If you enjoyed this stream, I think Chu-chan is also doing a vibing just talking stream this afternoon. I do believe that she is streaming at 2 p.m. Eastern on her Twitch channel, twitch.tv/ChuChanVT, or just look her up there. She likes to do chatting streams where she puts public domain films in the background, and she just kind of talks over them or puts copyright-free beats over them, and she just talks and vibes, and she talks about the things that she's enjoying right now when she's exposing herself to. And that's the thing, Chu-chan and I, we watch things together, but we also like to have our personal time, and we do things by ourselves too. So Chu-chan also has a lot of interesting things that she likes to talk about, just like this. But like her, she has things going on in the background, and I need to find my background thing, my footage. Maybe I'll find like a 24/7 Tokyo cam that's not copyrighted that will be behind me. I'll find something. Cause I remember during the old JoyRide streams, I had the fucking what was the aquarium? There was an aquarium that we used to be friends with. There was an aquarium in California. It was the one that was based on in Finding Nemo. It's a very popular aquarium. And they had an otter cam or a penguin cam or a fish cam. And I would always put it in the background of my streams. And we used to be really cheeky with them. I need to go back to doing stuff like that in the background and just chatting with you guys. And like I said, I don't want to overplan. I don't want to overpromise. We're just going to hang and talk, guys. We're just going to hang and talk. And sometimes I might open up the video call and I might let my friends come in and talk with me. Because I can't, so people have been asking, like, where's JoyCast? I miss JoyCast. Val and I are so busy. I can't plan. I can't guarantee when the next stream of this will be. And I can't guarantee, like, guys like Val will show up. But we're trying to get there. And I know that at some point, I am going to talk about Steel Ball Run. And I'm going to watch that with Val. So, yeah, so Drew figured out Monterey Bay. Yes, it was Monterey Bay. It was Monterey Bay Aquarium, and my girl, before I got married to Stina, my girlfriend was Rosa the Otter. There was another otter. Like I definitely loved one of the otters at Monterey, but I think it was Portland. I think Portland's aquarium or zoo had an otter that masturbated and dunked basketballs. It was either at Monterey or it was at Portland. They had an otter and it would jack off on camera and they would dunk basketballs. And that guy was sick. And that was the old love of my life was that aquarium. I think it might have been a chick. Shows how much I was in love with it. I can't even remember their name if it was Rosa or not. But yeah, I love animal cams. I love Tokyo cams. I'm also trying to get back to Tokyo so bad, you guys, and that's one of the biggest casualties of the 2025 was I have it. If you go to JoyRide minus, I had a stream. I think it's blocked right now. I had a stream where I did talk about my trip to Japan, but I will inevitably go back to Japan. It's one of my big financial goals, rewards. That once I get my finances under control, I want to go to Japan, and I would love to film something there. I would love to do some kind of IRL shit there. That would be so cool. I'd never at least talk about Japan more. Japan is one of my biggest fascinations. I am one of those millennials who got very obsessed with Japan. Sue me. But I love it. I want to do more of it. I want to talk more of it. And again, I have more things to talk about. I gotta go. It's lunchtime. I gotta go. You guys gotta go. Please watch Chu-chan stream. Because Chu-chan's just awesome. Oh, I forgot to show you guys. I did add some flames to the Chainsaw Man memes. I did the thank you Deku and his he'll eat this hanging in his heart. The hair string. He goes, Deku. He goes, because you're useless and a nerd. Oh yeah. That was my contribution to that meme. So that's what I'll leave you on. Guys, the world is tough right now. Make it a kinder place by being kind to somebody today. I will catch you next time. Peace out.